sense now. Oh yeah, Mike. Oh yeah.
Have you done any?
Have I what? Seen the Muffin Man? Do I know the Muffin Man?
Have you done? Oh, I heard an example of the sonorous thing I was talking about, of like way too sonorous of a female, like way too pure singing.
Oh yeah.
In that Chumbawamba, I get knocked down, but I get up
Yep.
again. There's yeah, dude, that's yeah. What did I come? All right, unplug this in. I was listening to that album again for the first time in like so many years.
Tub Thumper.
Yeah,
Or Tub Thumping.
they were a very creative band, and but one of the songs has like a very sonorous female, so I wanted to give you an example of that at some point. But I took the whiskey drink, I took the lager drink, took the cider drink, took the lager drink. The songs that remind me of the good times, the songs that remind me of the better times. Oh, Danny boy, Danny boy.
Oh man.
Next door neighbor. See, I want that light on, but I don't want that light on above my camera, shining right into it. But if it was back there shining at us, it would be good. Like somewhere. There was a. Oh yeah, I want to bring up on the computer. I got to start the recording on there because so we can share what we're looking at.
You got some fuzz in your hair, sir.
I've been putting
in the hair, not in the head.
Where is it? I put mango butter on my.
Oh.
Where is it?
Oh, it's in there. It's matted.
It doesn't spread that good.
It's actually the butter. Okay.
It's mango butter.
I thought it looked like fuzz. I thought you had.
It's I think
a hitchhiker on you.
So this is the album cover.
It reminds me of Rather Good. The like superimposed large mouth.
Yeah. It's so weird.
The blackened eyes on the baby face is definitely.
It is like that thing that you mentioned, something awful or whatever. What it was?
Rather good.
Rather good. Butter on my face.
Butter on my face. Glistening cheeks.
God.
Healthy sheen.
All right. Okay. So on my phone, like I said, I finally replaced my broken iPhone.
Mm.
And I was setting up some stuff on it, and it's cool because I didn't know I was exploring some of the settings. Oh, this is gonna be ruined almost already. And I did a cool thing I didn't know you could do, which is like the home screen is the current weather outside.
Oh yeah, you got home screen widgets now.
So like it's sunny outside, so it's sunny in my background.
Oh, all right, yeah. Nice.
And then it shows my phone % there, which I actually turned on up here too, so now it's in two places. And then 47 degrees right now, low 27, high 47, and then sunset at 4:38.
Sweet.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute it actually. Yeah.
Don't even.
It was cold this morning.
It was. I didn't like it, especially after that like 70-degree day on what was it, Thursday? Yeah, Halloween. It was 70 something out, and like even at night, I took the kids out trick or treating, and it had been dark for a couple hours. I think we got back at around 8:00, and it didn't dip below 65. It was weird. It's like out in a t-shirt at night, late fall, felt like summer. Very bizarre.
Check this out. This board is that is weird. I don't mean to be such a jumping from topic to topic, but this board.
They have medication for that. Ayo! That board is.
I made this when I was living at the Center for Wayward Men. I don't know if it'll keep recording while I close the screen, but and I painted it with the Japanese sunrise kind of.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. The very straight lines.
But these boards are like my dad puts them on like the stairs when we're doing construction. I'm not sure like where you buy them or what they're for, if that's what they're for, but they're just kind of like cheap, thin boards that are like not special.
Yeah.
That you just put down to like protect your floor when you're working or something.
Mm.
And I just cut 2 square pieces and glued them down the sides so it doesn't flex, so it's got some strength.
Right.
And it's like a laptop stand, so it's like the perfect size for a laptop.
Perfect.
And it's a fun medium to paint on, and it keeps the heat from the laptop off your lap.
Nice.
And it also allows the fans, because like there's only like 1/8 of an inch that these things raise it up. So on here it can breathe and stay cool, as well as not burn your legs. And
even got room for the tea. What more could a lad want?
Dude, I should sell these. It's a brilliant idea for business. But it's pretty cool, actually. See, I built a longer one over there. It goes from here to here.
Oh.
But it turns out this one's kind of nicer. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Utilitarian.
It'd be fun to paint.
It works. It's good.
We could paint some of these someday and during a cast. Have you ever painted wood as a medium, or like different canvas and wood and?
Yeah, not rarely have I ever done that. I think I've done it maybe less than a handful of times, but painted on wood is nice.
Yeah.
Especially a nice, well-sanded, smooth wood.
Yeah, I
don't like how the grains grab the bristles sometimes on your brush.
Oh, yeah, you could like sand it nice and smooth first. So anyway, let's go on to our passionate topic of the day, because people like hearing about what you're enthusiastic. Remember what that?
Where is the passion?
The passion. She's back. The marriage is saved. That was GTA 3 Laszlo.
Oh my goodness. Is that what it was?
Yeah, the relationship guru.
I barely remember that.
It's one of my favorite things of all time. He encourages people to like save their marriage. That's like, because like the spark is gone after a certain amount of time or whatever. And basically he encourages you to like cheat, basically. He's like, the passion is back. The marriage
for the same person, or
the marriage is saved. It's funny though, because I was doing like real research on that kind of stuff, and it does actually, because I've talked about this a lot of people, my uncle and all these different people, because like how girls, apparently from what I've been told on these YouTube videos, who knows if it's true, they're attracted to like not only success and having your shit together, but also just being like a badass, like tattooed, muscular motorcycle riding dude. And those two don't tend to overlap that much. And so if you can have one in a marriage and one on the side, it sort of actually fulfills all their desires. And it can keep people from like divorcing and being unhappy. So it's actually kind of interesting. It's like kind of true, apparently, somehow, in some ways or something. I don't know. It sounds kind of crazy, but the passion topic of the day is a cooking.
It's a cooking.
It's a cook.
We're cooking here.
It's a spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
It's a me.
It's a me. A pasta fajoule.
Dude, I'm fixing my uncomfortable area way too many times on video for this to be appropriate. What do you think about that sheath underwear that separates the pieces? It seems so dumb. But.
I don't like that brand. I do have one. I buy Duluth. They just have the one that keeps your balls from slapping your leg or like getting to the side. It doesn't really like. Some of them are too constricting. They like try to hold it too much, but these are nice.
There was Seinfeld. Wait, so your balls are separated
from my leg? Yeah, there's like a little veil between like the leg area and then the crotchal region.
So it's like a slot.
Kind of, yeah.
Wait, so these are not the...
You can pull it up on there, DuluthTrading.com.
Okay.
The bullpen boxers. That's what I have. They're great.
Training.
I've tried other ones. I've tried like
oh, so they're for like sport.
Sax is another one. The ball hammock type deal is big these days.
Oh yeah, I see that they've got a bit of a hammocky
Right.
shape to them.
But I don't know if they have the picture of the inside, but that's where the magic happens. They've got these little separators. Yeah, so something like that. The second picture.
Oh,
So there's just like a little veil that goes over it. Keeps your gonads centered, so they don't like pop down in the leg.
so the balls go in the leg holes.
No, yeah, I mean, no, your legs still go in the leg holes unless you don't have legs and have elephantitis. Then I suppose. But no, your twig and berries go all in the same.
center.
Yeah.
And they stick together.
I
mean, not stick together as in like the negative.
they chill together.
Yeah.
They're homies.
Roll sticky.
No spatula required.
So those are like sports underwear, or like boxing, or
I wouldn't say they're sports.
boxers. Never mind.
Yeah, boxer briefs.
Wait a minute.
So they've got a little bit of support. They got the leg to them.
There's this Seinfeld where Kramer went to the doctor and he's telling him that like he needs to start wearing boxers or something because it's healthier than briefs. And then Kramer's like, my boys need a house, Jerry.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Dude, I just took the stickers off the back of my phone because I finally got it 100% working today. Most people take their phones. Tell me what you think about that. The sleek, beautiful SE2. It's a sweet form factor. Like it's. So
I kind of miss the rounded edges of the older models.
It's like so smooth and like such a nice size.
It's a little small for me.
It's a little small for me too, but like when I'm using it, I don't use it.
Like I could easily get above.
I could use one size bigger for my ideal hand holding and typing.
Jameses. iPhone.
Huh?
Jameses.
Yes, James. I should rename. Have you heard about the people that like get on an airplane and just like drop nude pictures to everybody? An airdrop.
No.
Yeah. Apparently it like happens. It's like a pretty regular thing. Because nobody renames their iPhone.
Soliciting dick pics.
Yeah, I guess this is the new iOS 17, so I looked at all the settings and like the automatic airdrop was disabled from everybody. So I think maybe they're doing that by default now. But it used to be just people. They just like keep sending pictures for the whole flight. And the captain would have to be like, whoever is sending these pictures.
Please simmer down in the cabin.
It's pretty funny. It's too bad they got rid of that by default. But anyway, no, the passionate thing was cooking.
Cooking, yeah, cooking. I like cooking. I'm a big fan of herbs and spices.
Ooh, me too.
I mean, really, that's where the passion is
Herbs and spices and sauce, which go together.
Yes.
Those are very important things.
Agreed.
You don't want anything dry for the most part.
This time of year, time of year, mainly we've got the chilies, we've got the soups, we've got the casseroles.
I made the best beef stew I've ever had in my life a few weeks ago.
That's dope. When you make your own favorite, it can be trouble though too.
I'm not reliable is the thing, because like I can cook pretty like consistent. I'm not as consistent because it's like I'm pretty good at cooking, but I'm still variable enough and inconsistent enough that like sometimes I'll just be like, by just the luck of the draw, it'll be like the best thing I've ever had in my life, or it'll just be like okay, or like pretty good or whatever.
Yeah, there's a couple times where I've been like a little bit short on an ingredient or something, and it's not quite the best batch of whatever I'm making, but I don't make bad food. I can confidently say that.
So today, before you got here, something I've been doing lately that I've never done my whole life, which is crazy because like how long I've lived without doing this, but like I guess it's because of our food system and culture is like kind of weird and not that good, which because it would be a totally normal thing otherwise, or it used to be normal. Anyway, point is,
What?
never mind.
What are we talking about?
So like my friend, I think it was Dylan. I really need to send him a message to get him on the cast again, but
Yeah.
he sent me this. I think it was him that sent me a stupid like reel or like Instagram thing that was like a guy dancing with like the medieval male haircut that's like down to his chin and like funny clothes, like medieval looking funny clothes or something.
Like a Lord Farquad from Shrek
yeah.
type deal.
And he's like, berries and cream, berries and cream.
Oh no! Yeah, I
I'm
saw
a
that.
boy who likes berries.
That
and
was
cream.
me. I sent that to
How's
you.
your-
Yeah.
And dude, you changed my life. So I was like, you know what? That does sound pretty good.
Yeah, he's like something about like when I was a lad. That's why I sent it, because of Good Morning Lads. When I was a lad, I used to do a dance for my mummy, the berries and cream dance. He continues to teach us how to do the berries and cream dance, skipping and clapping. It's good. Get you going.
It is really good. I mean, I'm just addicted to like consuming things. Like if I'm not smoking something,
Welcome to America.
or eating something, or like watching something, like I need to be
Input,
of
stimulus.
some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's America, man. We all need the stimulus, whether we realize it or not. Very few people can just be with their thoughts.
I used to be really good at it before I got so addled and stressed in my adulthood.
I think pocket computers have a lot to do with that.
I used to drive around and just not listen to the radio and just be so fucking zenned out. I still do it sometimes, but
I only do that when I've had a bad day at work, and I'm just like, I overstimulated. Like I can't right now. There's nothing that sets the tone.
the roads
than
around
silence.
here are beautiful. You know, beautiful roads.
They are.
It's really nice just cruising.
It is, yeah. When we were lads, the dirt roads.
All after school.
Burn crews.
Dude, every day after school, we would get in the car. Damn, those were some of my favorite times ever. Because that sound system I had was so good in my car. The fidelity, the bass, the balance, the subwoofers. And we would just jump in the car, the bad boys after class. Not bad boys, but whatever. And, weed was illegal at the time. And so...
It was, yeah. And then
there.
it's still illegal to operate a vehicle while under the influence. But...
Dude, I can tell you the most dangerous part about that for sure. What's happened to me multiple times. Excuse me, hold on. But there have been times where I was smoking where I've like held it in, you know, for like a minute or whatever.
Oh, the lightheaded cough.
Well, you like get lightheaded and like sort of like almost like lose consciousness for half a second.
Yeah, the tunnel vision, the stars from coughing too hard.
There have been times where I've taken inhaled like a hit on the couch, like a bong or something, and held it in and stood up. Or one time I blacked out and fell over.
Oof, yeah, that's happened to me too. Only one time.
That's the most dangerous part.
Because I was like with somebody that was like treating weed like it was crack. Like, take a bigger rip, go back and forth. There was only two of us, and he was treating it like it was a circle.
But yeah, never hold it in while you're driving. That is a bad idea. You can get lightheaded and lose consciousness for a split second.
Well, I found out later on in life that holding it in doesn't really do anything except for cut off the oxygen supply. It doesn't have a quicker onset. Like 90-something% of the THC is absorbed on the initial pull.
Well, the thing was, like back in the day when it was illegal, it was expensive and hard to get. So you would hold it in.
Savor the flavor.
Well, just to get the most out of, like, blow out, no smoke, you know. There was one time I knew these two kids who, I could tell you the names after the thing, but Speaking of, when you're talking about those two guys who are smoking like they were in a circle, taking way too big of a
Yeah,
puff.
myself and the
Oh,
other dude.
there's these two kids who are like, they had a really strange like friendship that was kind of like a drug addict friendship where they were like friends because they both used drugs. And like, anyway, they would be like, it got to the point, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, where they would be ripping bongs with each other and taking turns. And they're supposed to be like taking, smoking like normal friends where you like take a puff, like maybe do the edge. You don't like smoke the entire thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
Halfsies, save some greens.
right, dude. It was so ridiculous. How it's so hard to put things into words sometimes. It's so ridiculous how like things can creep from step by step to a point where it gets so ridiculous. But because you took all these steps in between, you lose the perspective of how ridiculous it's become.
Oh yeah, you're getting
Yeah.
acclimated to the
Yeah.
absurdity.
So it's like you'd walk in and look at these guys' situation in social dialogue, and like it's the funniest thing in the world, but they don't realize how ridiculous it would be. So they would like take the bowl, roast the whole thing, clear the whole thing, which like took an effort. So it was like a big bowl. So they'd be like, and then they'd be like, I didn't get one. Like the point was like it wasn't enough. Like, oh, I would have shared some, but there wasn't enough in there.
Oh
It's
my goodness!
like I didn't really get one.
Yeah.
And then they would pack the whole thing huge again. The other person would rip the whole thing and be like, didn't get one. They would just go back and forth doing that, ripping huge bowls and saying they didn't get it. So funny, such peak drug degeneracy.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of weed, not.
See that? Yeah, that's the thing that I've never understood. Is there's like people that are just like they treat it like. I liken it to being a crack addict. Like,
Yeah,
when you're ripping huge freaking dabs,
that's
and
crack weed behavior.
yeah, it's too much. Cut it
Pretty
out.
funny. It was hilarious.
You're masking something else if you're doing that, or you just need a tolerance break. If you need to rip fucking like
Dude, it was so
earthworm size dabs.
If we had a clip of those, of that a couple of times that I witnessed that, like walking by or being in the room, like it would be all it'd go like, it'd be a fairly funny video online. It would get some views for sure. But so say, oh yeah, so I had like this sick Alpine Type R speakers and the Sony head unit, which was like the best you could get at the time, that my brother got me for Christmas one year. And I had two Sony Explode 12 inches in the trunk, which weren't great, but they weren't terrible. And that was at the time that the 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying came out, which is pretty much the best album still to this day to listen to on subwoofers. And we would just cruise the back roads after school, roll blunt, park at the farmer's field, on the dirt roads, listen to the sweet sound system, smoking our weed, driving around.
Well, that's the other thing that's nice about this area too, is like if you all of a sudden felt overwhelmed and felt incapable of driving, you're already on a dirt road. Literally all you have to do is pull over and chill in a field for a while.
And you can drive 15, 20 miles an hour and like nobody would suspect anything. It's not like a problem at all.
It's not like you're trying to keep up with traffic, weaving in and out of lanes and
it's a pretty
all that
sick
nonsense.
area. Speaking of that, I'd love to get my motorcycle running. So I worked an entire summer as a lifeguard, and I only saved up like $600 or something, but it wasn't full time anyway. And I spent the whole $600 on this motorcycle that I have out in my shed. It's a Suzuki from the 80s. It's black. It's a 4-cylinder like sport bike. It's pretty cool. And I bought it like, I was so dumb because I was like young at the time, and like I didn't want to like do it. Like I didn't want to like tell my parents that I was buying a motorcycle, you know?
Right.
And so I just kept it under wraps. And like, so my grandma thought that I had spent all $600 on like weed. So I didn't tell anybody that I bought the motorcycle.
Accidentally making it way worse for yourself. He's in the drugs. He's spending all the money on the drugs. How did you get it here without anybody noticing?
I kept it down at Chuck's for like a year or two.
Secret location.
And I finally decided, like, dude, whatever, I'm an adult. I'm just gonna bring it home, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But although the funny, there's a lot of funny parts about that story though, because I mean, $600 for a running, driving sport bike is pretty good. But it turns out the reason it was so good is because it had like no title or VIN number on it. But
Whoops.
I was so excited to be buying a motorcycle that the thought of a title or VIN number didn't even cross my mind. I was so happy just to be like giving money and receiving motorcycle. Like that's all my mind was like, this is the best.
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy right now. But anyway, the reason I brought that up is because the roads around here are so sweet for cruising and non-dangerous. It's really one of the best places for motorcycling probably in the country. As long as you don't drive during peak hours or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to take a break for a drink. I've been a chatty Cathy. I've still got a little in here.
Chatty Cappy. That's kind of the gig, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you know what? I've got the mushroom tea that's actually really helps my throat. So,
mushroom.
but yeah, so the berries and cream, dude. I it's funny because everybody buys whipped cream in the like pre-made cans.
Yeah.
It's like we're so off the path from normal living and cooking that like people don't. I was like, oh, you can actually whip cream.
Yeah,
Like,
you
don't
make
have
your
to.
own.
Yeah, it's like you just take cream and whip it.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I tell people that I don't buy seasoning packets for my tacos, and they're like, "What? How do you make a season? How do you season it?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Exactly.
coriander, cumin, chili pepper, paprika.
Yeah. So I'm almost 40 years old, and I was like, you can whip cream.
The cream doesn't come pre-whipped? What?
I was like, wow. And so the thing is, like, so the health dude I've been watching a lot, that's been helping my health a lot, is like, excuse me, I've been having hiccups. He's, oh my gosh. It's like, so according to him, heavy cream is extremely healthy as long as, especially if the cow is like, not like a factory corn feedlot cow. Whereas like, because we're living in this world now where like my mom is so against fat. Like she doesn't want fat in any of her food. She says she doesn't.
Why?
Because you haven't heard the narrative. Like there was like an anti-fat calorie. Everybody thinks it's like everything is like low fat in the store, like to help save, like to help with like your weight. No?
Yeah, but that's so counterintuitive because your brain is like a ridiculous percentage. I'm making this up right now, but it's probably close to 80% fat.
Yeah, and so like it turns out like healthy fats are pretty much the single most important thing that you can eat.
Oh, hurricane less. Anti the thing you need.
Yeah, it's too bad because I think it, like you said about your brain being 80% fat, like I think they've been showing like real big correlations between like delaying Alzheimer's or, mitigating it by, eating coconut oil and other healthy fats every day.
Yeah, so there's also interesting enough is there was a study that was done, and I guess there was an increase in a certain age group of people that have Alzheimer's, and it happens to strongly correlate with the advent of margarine. Because they lost the fats from the butter that was being
the healthy
used.
fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they turned it in. Yeah, that margarine was such a nightmare. That stuff is so bad, so gross for you. But yeah. Anyway, so the whole point is like, so I've been learning all this stuff, and like, so it's funny because all and some of the other healthiest things you can eat are dark skinned berries like blueberries and blackberries. Are like some of the healthiest things you can eat.
Polyphenols.
And it's like, but by themselves, if they haven't ripened into like a sweet berry, which makes the whip. So what I do basically is, I get heavy cream, I pour like half the thing in a bowl, and I whip it with the whipper until it's whipped cream. and then I add in like blackberries, blueberries, and dude, it's so good. It's like insanely good.
Berries and cream.
Dude,
Berries and cream.
it's so good. I just added, I chopped up half of a little square of 75% dark Ghirardelli chocolate, and I put cinnamon in along with strawberries and blueberries, and I did the whipped cream before you got here. It was like so incredibly satisfying to my soul. Like my body was like so happy afterward feeling.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. You look it up on Google though, like what is like the nutrient, like how healthy is like heavy cream, and Google's like, oh, it has almost zero nutrition value. It's like, that's bullshit, dude. It is like packed full of like your body needs all that stuff badly. But yeah, that's one of the things I've been making lately that I've really been enjoying a lot. My berries and cream, dude. It's so good. So good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure your body appreciates the berries.
It's such a
the
great
cream.
combo because it's like you get the like if the berries are bitter or whatever, the flavors complement each other perfectly. Because some of they're like you get a strong concentrated tart flavor along with like a large, just neutrally flavor creamy, and like one is very astringent and the other is very creamy, so it's like a perfect balance, really complementary. So it's pretty sweet. What have you been? You doing any cool meal? Any good? What's some really good stuff you've been making, or anything you've been making lately that's good?
Man, it's all good. Like I said, we're entering that season where it's like soups. So
I've got a butternut squash right there.
Nice.
You ever make that in soup?
It's been quite a bit of casseroles. We're a casserole enjoying family.
I've never been a big casserole guy. The only closest thing I do to a casserole is making like a whole dish of like Mexican corn tortillas that are wrapped with like chicken and cheese and green chili and whatever else, and you fill up a whole casserole dish with them.
Kind of like enchiladas.
Yeah,
yeah.
And you make like green chili sauce or whatever and like pour it over the whole thing. That's the closest. That's the only real casserole kind of thing.
I mean, that's definitely casserole-esque.
Mexican casserole. Yeah, what kind of casseroles do you do?
Oh, we do chicken and rice. The kids really like. I did a taco casserole, which is it's got the beef, the usual suspects for the seasoning, and then you do it with pasta and take crushed up tortilla chips, do that as a topping. What else have we been doing?
Pasta and tortilla chips.
Yeah, so it's
raw
like
pasta?
the pasta cooks with it. So most of the casseroles we do have a grain or a grain byproduct in it. So chicken and rice, obviously the rice, it just cooks all together. And then the pasta cooks with you brown the hamburger separate. Chicken and rice, the chicken cooks with the rice. And that's like a cream-based one. Do cream and mushroom for that.
Cream and mushroom in a can.
I mean, if you don't have the time, yeah. But you can whip your own cream. You can make your own cream.
I was making cream of mushroom. I was buying that cream of mushroom soup for a little while until I realized that the main ingredient is soybean oil, and I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I hate soybean.
It's so gross.
Susie brought home tofu to try and stuff, and I'm like, that's terrible. Get it out of this house.
So when you brown your casserole beef, how do you do that?
Oh, just in a skillet, and then I'll transfer it to the casserole pan.
Butter, salt, pepper, spices.
I don't typically
level.
do. I like a medium heat. I don't typically add more fats because I usually use like 80-20 burger. So
Me
the
too.
fat's already there.
Yeah. I
don't
still
really
add.
need to add butter.
I still add butter. Most good chefs add butter to.
I'll do it with steaks. I'll
Yeah.
add, to a nice marbled steak. I'll
Yeah.
do butter on that.
Yeah.
But I don't really feel like it needs it, especially in a casserole setting. If I
Right.
want
Yeah,
kind of, that kind of crispness and like that the butter flavor normally adds kind of gets lost in a casserole setting.
The reason I like, butter makes everything better almost.
It's just casually smearing.
It's really, I've got a problem. I'll just put the camera on you for this part. Because I got to deal with my dry skin.
It's that time of year, man. Gotta stay hydrated.
So you brown your beef.
I browned my beef. Tell you what.
Brown your beef, boy.
Yep.
And you want to go through the process of how you make the casserole at all? Or do you want to?
No, not really.
Okay.
Y'all can Google it. I'm sure there's recipes online.
Do you want to hear about how I made the best beef stew I've ever had in my life the other few weeks ago?
Sure. What'd you do?
So...
Did you use bone marrow for the stock?
No, but there was sort of some naturally in some of the cuts that came out into the soup as it simmered, but I think
I've never used bone marrow. I want to at some point. I hear it's really just
it's really good.
Chef's kiss.
I used to make the most incredible chicken noodle soup, and I would get these chicken legs. They're my favorite part of the chicken to buy because they're like the richest and most flavorful, and also tend to be the cheapest per pound.
Thighs, dark meat,
the legs, the whole leg.
Oh, the whole leg.
Yeah,
like quarters.
Yeah, usually they come 3 in a bag, and I can fit them exactly 3 in my iron skillet.
Nice.
And I'll put in a bunch of butter and salt and pepper, and I'll fry them on the stove until they're like golden brown or brown on both sides, like a nice fry. And then I'll have the oven at like 400 or 420, 450. And after I flipped them over on frying them in butter on the surface, I'll take the iron skillet off the top and put it in the oven. And it takes about 20, 40 minutes. And you can tell when the skin's like pulled back off the bone that it's basically done.
Nice. Where do you stand on the onion and garlic if you're sautéing with your meats? How do you like to do that? I like to do like a medium low for like 10 minutes with butter, get a nice caramelized onion, and then I throw the meat in. Then I let it cook all together. You get some nice... I don't mind, like, some people might say it's overly cooked, not quite sauteed. They get a little crispy. That's what I like. A little crisp on my onions. Not a lot. I don't like it burnt. I don't like chewing on char, but I like a little crisp to it.
Depends on what you're making. I like to do translucent onions sometimes. You just put them on low heat for quite a while, and eventually they become...
I don't have patience for that. They're good. But onion of choice, I like Vidalias.
I don't really... Sweet. I haven't gotten far enough as testing directly the flavor differences between like all the different yellow and white onions. So I'll usually just pick one of them and...
Try Vidalia next time you cook.
Vidalia, that's like a yellowish skin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little bit smaller typically. They don't get too big.
Oh. Yeah, onions are supposed to be super healthy, I've heard too.
Yeah, as far as raw onions, I can't really do anything other than red. A little too pungent for me.
Yeah, red is they're like a strong onion, aren't they?
Are they? I don't know. I feel like the white onions are typically white onions are for boiling anyhow or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Just other onions don't taste right to me. Like Vidalia. On a sandwich, it has to be red, and if I'm
red
sauteing,
on a sandwich.
it has to be Vidalia. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. So Vidalia, I know at the store they've got like 2 onions next to each other. One's like white and one's like yellow. Mm-hmm. So the Vidalia must be the yellowish one.
They'll trick you sometimes. They just kind of lump different ones together and say they're all yellow, but the true Vidalia is probably about like that big at best.
Because the white ones and the yellow ones I saw were big. Because that's kind of like shallots got popular. over the last like 5 or 10 years, and that's like a small onion that's more flavorful, kind of.
It's not bad. Yeah, those come on stocks, right?
Or they're more like
kinda
mild, I think, so they don't
yeah.
take over the flavor as much.
Mm.
I think is what it is. Well, let me tell you how I made this beef stew. So my family bought half a cow from down the road.
Down the road, down yonder.
So it was raised like ethically and without being like a feedlot with corn and all that stuff. So it's like pretty good quality meat and like not too much animal cruelty. So, although it's still more than I'd like to have, because like I did a quesadilla phase for a little while, and dude, once you get good at making quesadillas, like a bunch of melted cheese and guacamole and the sour cream and the salsa, like they can be so good that it's like I could be that's one way I could be a vegetarian for sure. It's
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, no. So we got good, nice quality local cow meat, and same with pig. We got some pig from the same people, so it's all like healthy, meats. They're relatively non-torture, naturally raised. And anyway, because like it's nice just because like to treat the animals better, but also because like the meat's healthier and tastes better. So, so my mom took out a bunch of meats to put in and was like looking up stew recipes. And she's like, "Do you know how to make a stew?" I'm like, "Let me do this."
Do I know how to make a stew? Let
Yeah.
me tell
I'm like,
you
yeah,
a thing or two.
and dude, and ended up being seriously the best thing I ever made. And it's like the one thing that, and she's like, "Do you want to put in these mini carrots?" I was like, "I don't want to because they taste bad because mini carrots are like, they take whole carrots and they shave off all the parts with any flavor and nutrition."
Is that what baby carrots are?
They take whole carrots and they just shave them down until you just have a little piece of the core. And the skin has so much flavor and nutrients, and the core has like no flavor, no nutrients. She's like, "I buy them for the horses." I was like, "Mom," I was like, "I know this is not going to taste good in the soup," but I let her put them in anyway because I'm trying to be more flexible these days. And then when I was eating it, I was putting them all. I tried one or two, and they were so bad that I just put them all off to the side from my bowl. Yeah, we didn't put too many in, so. So anyway, she what?
I can just see it now. It's like making a dish for your mom, and just like
She is so annoying.
the point being is that the regular size carrot is better probably overall, but you're also making it for your mom. So it's like, I'm not eating these carrots, mommy.
Man, it was,
Yeah.
it was made it for the whole family, mom, dad, and me.
There you go.
And oh man, hold on, I got lost on track.